Imagine this. Two people walk into the emerge, both are gasping for air, both terrified, both humans. But only one gets believed. Only one gets treated in time, and the other gets labeled drug seeking, overreacting. Same symptom, different skin. That's the quiet violence of structural racism in healthcare. This isn't about a few bad people, it's the whole system that's hollow. When health outcomes consistently vary by race, that's not just coincidence, that's structure, the structure of racism. We say Canada has universal healthcare, but tell that to the indigenous woman waiting 12 hours in the ER, ignored until it's too late. Tell that to the black mother whose pain is brushed off because she's strong. She can handle that. Tell that to the migrant student, told that their insurance doesn't cover that kind of care. Universal, really? For who? We've built a system that calls itself fair, but it's color coded. As a future nurse standing at the bedside of that truth, I can't stay silent anymore. Because silence doesn't heal, it harms. And racism in healthcare, it doesn't just break trust, it breaks lives. Let's stop pretending that this is a third world problem. Structural racism is a health determinant, just like income, housing, or education. It shapes whether a child grows up healthy, whether a mother survives childbirth, whether an elderly gets the care that they deserve. History didn't go away, it just evolved. The same forces that once stole indigenous land are now stealing indigenous health through underfunded care or unsafe water. I've personally seen patients who don't come to the hospital until their illness becomes unbearable. Not because they don't care about their own body or health, but because they don't trust the system. Because the last time they came, they were judged for their accent, their insurance, or their skin. I've seen international students struggling to access mental health care while social media fuels hatred, portraying them as job stealers, instead of people fighting loneliness and culture shock in a foreign land. That's not just a social injustice, that's a public health crisis. And as a future nurse, I refuse to stay quiet about it. So where do we go from here? What do? We act. Canada needs a national anti-racism in healthcare act, a policy that makes anti-racist, equity-centered practice a legal standard. First, make anti-racism training not just mandatory, but meaningful for all healthcare providers. Not just a checkbox, not a slideshow, but a deep, recurring part of license renewal. I feel the CNO and CNA should lead this nationally. Secondly, I feel hospitals should be required by law to collect and publicly report data on healthcare access, waiting times, and outcomes by ethnicity. Lastly, make healthcare truly universal, because universal should mean for everyone. We must fix the structure, not just the symptom. So yes, I am angry, but it's not just hopeless anger, it's fuel. Fuel for policy change, fuel for compassion, fuel for a generation of nurses who will not accept inequality as just the way it is. So here's my promise. I, Vraj, will not stand by while structural racism decides who gets to live well and who does not. I will fight for the system that measures health not by privilege but by justice. Because healthcare should not depend on your race, your accent, or the passport you have. It should depend on one thing, your humanity. And I will spend my career making sure that the system remembers that.